fantastic. This is GT racing right now.
He's got traction, he's going with the outside of both of them. Maloney!
Oh, he's taking Anderson. Anderson's up top.
Oh my God! Big crash. Oh my goodness, half the field's going to get rolled.
Second very close. These guys are going to want to make their way through the field very quickly.
Oh, there we go.
Oh no! That's massive! This is it! This is over! I can't believe this! Oh my God!
God, what?
Assist to the front bumper, and he hits him again now. Rayon Fowler into the outside wall.
He passed nearly 3 cars down that front straightaway, and he's going to get them all done with. What amazing!
Racely to the inside goes Logan Cloudman is going to touch in. Pit press sideways. What a save!
Look to the outside, and Trunke goes off. De Jong into second place.
Going for the switchback. Oh, pinpoint driving.
Is howling down to the inside.
I tried, there's contact though.
Slide left of the racetrack. Chris Leonard drives it back down underneath, and he takes that second spot right back. Joker goes to Garrett Lowe.
Garrett Lowe should take victory with all that contact.
He's going to try and make the move around the outside the parabolica. That's not going to work, but he's going to try and get the cut back here. Get the front out of the parabolica. That's beautifully done there. Michael Schumacher, there's a little bit of door banging as well.
The Nurburgring, legendary track, legendary battles, legendary moments all seasons long. This is a track which time and again, albeit for the difficulty of overtaking, has produced many a memorable moment, be it the long Nordschleife or today the Grand Prix layout, where our battleground is seen. This is the iRacing Grand Prix Series. There's a reason why this season is so important. There's a reason why this track continues to be a fighting point. And here with SimSpeed TV, we are in for a real treat for the action that we have coming up forward. This is a 16-turn, 5.15 kilometer track, which gives every single thrill ride along for it. I'm Jake Sperry, joined alongside by Scott Fountain. We are in the throes of qualifying, with Jorge Martinez currently the fastest man overall, 127.274. Fonty, this is a track which is very reliant on downforce, and one which is effectively hot lap central.
Back to my microphone. Yes, hello everybody. Yes, and welcome to Saturday night with SimSpeed. It's going to be awesome tonight. It's such a great track, and we were here last night for the full Nordschleife, but here at the Grand Prix circuit, which yeah, I haven't covered too many sim racing events at this particular track, but yeah, great facility, and me and you both have had the pleasure of being at this particular track at the same weekend for Sim Expo experience.
Yeah, we certainly do, and we also had the ability to call some Sim Racing Expo events here around this wonderful circuit, so there are a lot of places that can make this a good race, and there's a lot of things that can make things a great race here, but of course qualifying is only one element of that. Diogo Oliveira's first lap has just moved him up into second position right now on a 127.4 at this moment, but all of that has to be held in suspension at this moment here, Fonty, because the championship leader, who has won 5 out of 5 races with us here on SimSpeed TV this season, is Matteo Ugolotti, and he is on a flyer at this stage.
Yeah, you're exactly right. He's been the class of the field this season, hasn't he? He's just really stepped up to the plate. We haven't given him much coverage on the screen because he's been too far in front of everybody. But I expect tonight, maybe, well, hopefully, we see someone get closer to him. Certainly, Jorge Martinez, he's done a fantastic job in qualifying there, putting on P1. Diego Oliveira, all the regular names we're seeing up the front here. Matt Wood, a little bit further back than he has been in previous weeks. One person who is doing a fantastic job, Kent Nielsen, sitting there in 8th position. So, well done to him.
Tell you what's also impressive is Klaus Siemitz in 3rd. Darren Parker has gone 4th quickest on a 27.6, but don't count your chickens just yet, because here comes Ugolotti round the final corner there, that Hyundai N-Curve making the charge to the line, and it's not a time that counts for that first lap, so he'll have one more go around if he's to get there. Samuli Vera, I believe that's Cedric Beale, jumping up there with his second lap up to 7th, 127.7.
Yeah, there we go. Fantastic lap for him, and yeah, I'm sure Matteo will do something impressive here. Expect him to be in the top 3 at least. It would be nice to see Martinez manage to put it on pole for this one, but I don't think we've seen him get a pole in a long time, have we?
I don't think he's been one for one lap pace. He's been one for race pace, and sometimes that is the one you see. Only 2 drivers are out there on laps currently. John Pat Kelly in the TQ Engineering car and Matteo Ugolotti. So John Pat Kelly now making his way through that long 90-degree right, which leads up to that Advan arc there, the next right-hander out on circuit. It's going to be a very interesting challenge today for John Pat Kelly. He's 20th at the moment, 129 flat, which is 1.8 seconds off of the pace compared to Jorge Martinez, which isn't bad actually for John Pat Kelly's turn of pace. He is a finisher in terms of races. He keeps himself out of trouble. He makes sure he gets himself to the line as he charges over for it. Then it's a 28.7 on the board, good enough only for 19th. But watch out for Ugolotti now. Final corner approaches, 20 seconds left in the session. The lap will count as he charges for the line. 27 flat as he goes through. That was box office as he got himself over the line. The grid now starting to form. He did as well, because he had 20 seconds, because everyone's done their 2 laps. The grid now formed. So Matteo Ugolotti will be on pole position. 127.016 will have Jorge Martinez for company there on the front row. Diogo Oliveira will start this one from 3rd position then, with Klaus Siemitz in the number 12. 4th position overall. Darren Parker, great qualifying from him in 5th. He'll have Marco Nurmela there in 6th position. Matt Wood a little bit off the pace there, 7th position. Start things off for him with Cedric Beale in 8th, with Samuli Veyranen there in 9th, and Kent Nielsen rounding out then the top 10. Renato Augusto, good qualifying by his standards. He starts from 11th with Ray Griffioen there in 12th. Then following that is Nico Veyranen and Kleber Toffoli, 13th and 14th. Dan Buffton, can't miss him, he's in 15th, with Adam Webb there in 16th. Tamashane and Steve Giori make 17th and 18th, with Philip Yates, John Pat Kelly, and a surprisingly poor qualifying for Ben Horrell here today. He'll need a lot more coming out of this one. Track conditions then, Fonty, 22 degrees. It's cold, which means we could be seeing some spinning here today.
Yeah, you're exactly right. We'll see how they all get it off the line. Yeah, very, very tight and twisty first few corners. So, yeah, hopefully we can see a first clean lap and some great racing here.
Yes, and of course it's that great racing that we're all here for. They've got 2 minutes to grid up, or they start from that place known as pit lane. So there's the focus, there's the flag. Let's get ourselves underway. We are racing here. What a slow start by Parker off the front. He got caught out there as they went through. Everybody dives on through in towards it. They're about 4 wide here as they try and go through. Wood trying to go around the outside here. It's a nice clean start by Ugolotti at the front. It is 2nd, Martinez 3rd, Oliveira. Siemens just about held on to 4th place, but immediately challenging there is Marco Nurmela in the Burst Esports car. He's trying to find a way through and gain himself a place. He can't get there. Still some side-by-sides. They head to the middle part of the track in the Mullenbacher Schleif, as it's going to be Cedric Beale and Kent Nielsen fighting for place.
Yeah, here we go. Fantastic few corners. Matteo Ugolotti already pulled himself out to almost a 2nd gap, so very clean start for him. But yeah, the rest of the field getting through nice and clean, which is great.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what we like to see here. We like a very nice, clean start. A bit of side-by-side now around the outside of Samuli Veyron, and goes Matt Wood there at the, I would say, carousel-inspired Dunlop hairpin, and gets it wonderfully sorted out. That moves him up into 6th place then here on the opening laps. A bit of side-by-side as Ben Horrell's made a wonderful start to this race. He is now around the outside of Adam Webb. That puts him up at least 7 places off of the get-go, which is fantastic work by his standards. A nice clean start as well. Not often that you get to see that in this sort of series, but what a wonderful start it has been. And immediately, Ugolotti trying to extend outside of the DRS range in the opening 2 laps.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Jorge Martinez doing a fantastic job there. Diego Oliveira just half a second behind, so those front 3 cars have really pulled out a nice gap back to 2 seconds to the number 6 car of Marco Nurmela.
Yeah, Nurmela here in terms of this race. He knows what he needs to do. He's got to get by Klaus Siemens quickly. Siemens has had a couple of really good qualifyings this season. Race pace, a little bit tougher here, Fonty, to translate, but someone who definitely knows how to put the car up high on the grid, and has these couple of tracks which do favour, and of course effectively a home race for him right now, so he's going to be fueled on by virtual home soil.
Yeah, you're exactly right. You can't beat a bit of virtual home soil, and yeah, well, if you live pretty close, then of course you're going to do plenty of laps around there. As you probably know the circuit quite well if you were growing up in motorsport and going and watching the real life stuff. But yeah, fantastic battles through these first couple of laps. And yeah, Matteo Ugolotti, he's really stepped up the game this season, hasn't he? Just class of the field, 1.5 seconds lead, and we're only on lap 2.
Yeah, it's an amazing work that's been done. There has been an overtake out there on circuit. Adam Webb has dropped the place to Dan Bufton at the Ravenel bed, the left-hander after the Schumacher S. So we're seeing some really nice work being concocted here in terms of this field. But all of this gap has really formed in the opening couple of laps of this race due to Darren Parker's shocking start. He's down 7 places on the grid from where he was originally started, and now he's got Nico Veyron as his focus in 11th position that he's trying to get through. Lap 3 of this race, Fonty, as well, they have the DRS available, which gives them an extra roughly 10 to 15 Ks in the DRS zone.
Yeah, you're exactly right. It plays such a crucial part in this type of racing. And yeah, really cool when this particular car came to iRacing and we had DRS available to us, and I believe it is the only car that has DRS. Am I right?
You are wrong, because the Formula Renault 3.5 has limited use of DRS. I believe they have about 8 uses per race.
There you go. I was proved wrong. I knew you'd prove me wrong, Spirit. You always do.
Well, sometimes you've got to make sure that you're in the right positions, and that includes from a commentary perspective. Great battling going on up and down the order here at the Nurburgring, and what is crucial as well is that every pack has a lot to fight for, and every place matters. Suddenly Klaus Siemens is pulling away, and it is Marco Nurmela who is now becoming the driver under pressure, with Matt Wood, Samuli Veyron and Cedric Beale all there in that scrap. Worth noting as well, this is at exactly the same time as the Nürburgring 24-hour race is going on as well. So the Grand Prix layout getting a bit of a double dose usage here today as we get ourselves this amazing action. Matt Wood stuck in the middle at the moment. He's in that zone of about 5/6 tenths of a second here, Fonty, where he just can't make the move.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And yeah, we saw him right up there challenging for the front last round. I'm pretty sure he will make this move into 5th position pretty quickly, and he's already looking for every gap possible. Just managing your tyres. We are going to see a stop for tyres. When do you expect to see the stops begin to happen?
Well, everybody in this race went on and started on the soft compound tyre. They're going to get no advantage/disadvantage there. So if it's going to be a soft-medium strategy, I'd expect drivers to come in as early as lap 12 today, looking to try and make a stop happen. Otherwise, they'll be trying to push it as far as they can on the soft compound to go on to a second set. Lap 20 of the race probably is the key for most drivers. Someone, for example, like Jorge Martinez, who's not actually running bad lap times. There's only a 1.5 seconds down here on Matteo Ugolotti right now. He is someone who could probably be looking at trying to go soft and maybe look to overcut a lot of his rivals today.
Yeah, you're exactly right. He is hanging on to that range now. It hasn't opened up. We're now lap 4 into the race in 1.5 seconds. So maybe Ugolotti's just trying to manage that tyre life. He's backed off a little bit. Or Jorge Martinez is just finding his feet here. Doing a fantastic job there. Hasn't put a foot wrong so far. So if he can close that gap a little bit, then they might be able to jump on the back of that draft range.
Yeah, I reckon they definitely could. Cedric Beale is another one who's looking to try and get places. He's in 8th right now. He dropped a place off the start to Samuli Veyranen. He gained a place off the start thanks to Darren Parker as Matt Wood going for it at turn 1. It's one of the key places on the lap where you can go and get it done. Turn 1, down the hill, all the way through the corner, but you have to be alongside at least at turning to give yourself a chance, because one of the very peculiarities, you could say, here of this Nurburgring track is the outside line at turn 1, which somehow always finds a way to work.
Yeah, you're exactly right. This is Matt Wood looks like he's getting a little bit frustrated behind Marco Nurmela here. He's just obviously at turn 1, great place to put a move on, but it looked like it was a little bit of a second thought there, and could have ended in tears very easy. So he needs to set up this pass well and get it secured. Otherwise, Klaus Siemens is just going to walk away from these guys.
And that's the key. Klaus Siemens is already 1 second clear there or thereabouts from Marco Nurmela, and that's going to be key. Question will be here, DRS zone. No DRS for Marco Nurmela. He is outside of the 1 second window, and that will give Matt Wood every opportunity to go and attack up into the Beadle chicane here. Very tight and narrow left-right chicane here, 90 degrees as you go over, and very easy to unsettle the rear through here.
Yeah, you're exactly right. This track is very unsettling. We've already seen a few people drop the rear wheel off on turn-in, which can be very dangerous for any particular race car, just to get that little bit of dirt on. I reckon we're going to see a move here done, and is he going to be able to pull it up on the brakes? Oh, yes he is, and he's going to get it done nice and cleanly here, I think. Or is he?
Well, yeah.
He's going to be able to pull around the outside. Yeah, he's got this one.
Not yet though, because again, inside line here at 3, now he can confirm it here into the 90-degree right, turn number 4, the exit of the arena, but you can see again, Nurmela's going to immediately try and go on the offensive here through the Mullenbacher Schleif, and now it's just a case of he's got to stay in range. Not going to happen here, so Matt Wood through now into 5th position, exactly what he wants. But most crucially here, Fonzie, it's a case of waiting around this circuit. They're going to have to try and manage strategy here today to do the majority of their moves, because this is a track which prides itself on being notoriously difficult to pass.
Yeah, I really think that Marco, he needs to just try and hang on the back of Matt here and try and use that slipstream to pull him along. He doesn't have the outright pace that Matt Wood does, so it would be smart to just try and hang on there and get dragged along and look after that tyre life at the same time rather than trying to fight back. I think he's outside of that window fighting back now. 0.6 of a second that gap is Matt Wood has pulled, and he is closing in on Klaus Siemens, so 1.5 seconds separating Winner Clements now.
Speaking of that, there was a little think of a move from Diogo Oliveira for 2nd position as he races against Jorge Martinez, who's very much settled down now into his conservative style of racing here, saving tyre, saving everything else, but he lost a lot of time over that lap. He lost nearly a full second to Matteo Ugolotti, and that, of course, not really a mistake as such. It was just a case of Martinez having a little bit of a slower lap as he looks to try and manage all aspects of this race, and he is trying everything right now to make sure that he is in the best possible position right now. These two have pulled out about 2.3 seconds over Klaus Siemens in 4th place.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Another little battle that's looking like it's going to form up is Nico Varanen back here in 11th place. He's all over the back of Ronaldo Augusto, and I think we've got Ben Horrell. He's gone around. He's done something here. Does the car look damaged? The front of the wing is damaged. We'll just go back and have a look and see what happened. He suddenly started dropping down the timesheets very quickly. Big thanks to Virtual Racing School for supporting us here at SimSpeed and sponsoring the replays for the year as well.
Yeah, that was just a case of trying to put the power down too early through turn number 4. The back end really stepped out, and that was always going to be trouble through that section for him. Able to keep the car running, of course, so that will be another continued battle that we continue to keep our eyes on here in this race, as will be this one. Samuli Veyranen there in 7th position, still has Cedric Beale, and quietly Kent Nielsen on the back, who's just getting a free piggyback, you would say, at this stage on this battle.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what Kent Nielsen does here with the strategy. Normally he does a little bit different to everybody else and generally goes for kind of that soft medium compound. So we'll see what he does today, but expect him to stay out of trouble. And yeah, he did a fantastic job last week until I think it was the second to last lap and had it coming together, which was not his own fault. So yeah, expect big things from Kent tonight.
Yeah, he's just had a very scruffy Mercedes-Benz Arena, wide in turn 1, wide in turn 3, and that's just dropped him outside of DRS range now to Cedric Beale, who has just been given now the license to attack Samuli Väyrynen as much as he possibly can here in this race, which is being led by Matteo Ugolotti. 8 laps in, no retirement so far from this race, and a lot of pack mentality, including 10th, 11th and 12th. Reynaldo Augusto, Nico Väyrynen, and now Darren Parker, who is probably tired of watching that white machine just in front and would probably like something to read here at this point as he tries to figure out a move at Ravenel and can't quite.
Yeah, you're exactly right. It's a great little battle, and I think his opportunity is going to come very, very soon. Nico Väyrynen, car doesn't look that settled, and Parker's certainly looking like pretty racy at this stage. But yeah, great little battle here for 11th place.
It's a good battle, but of course no positions changing at this moment in time, and that is the key at this moment. They've got to find a way to change positions in this race if you want to go and make something happen. Now it's Väyrynen on the attack here on the run towards turn number 1, but you just don't have enough of a straight. But there's a lunge down the inside. Here comes the move. Does he block pass? Oh, he does as well. And suddenly, is it cookies? Mine for one Darren Parker round the outside of turn 2. That's a wonderful overtake.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic, and he'll be pleased with that one. So next position is to get to that top 10 for Parker, which I think is definitely achievable for him. Looking at that gap out front, absolutely blinding pace we've got from Matteo Ugolotti at the moment. Just look at it, 3.9 seconds. So he's really found another gear in that last 5 laps and just pulling away from Jorge Martinez.
Certainly is, and this is what Matteo Ugolotti does time and time again. It is trademarked the way that he races this McLaren MP4-30, and that's why he is the best in the world at this moment, measurably in this vehicle. So the battle is up and down the field, still continuing out there on track. Ben Horrell is now out of last position. He's made an overtake on John Pat Kelly, so that is a change for position. But the question will be, second and third, how long can Diogo Oliveira attack Jorge Martinez? Because you've got a driver who's really good at saving tyres in Martinez and a driver who really isn't in Diogo Oliveira.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I think for your Oliveira, he's a little bit further up than what he normally kind of would be. So yeah, we'll see what happens in the pit stops, and if an undercut is maybe what Oliveira is planning. But yeah, with Jorge Martinez being so good on tyre life, it will be a challenge for Diego to get past the door.
Certainly will. We are 1/4 of the way through this race at the end of this lap. Lap 10 of 40 we find ourselves on at this moment in time. The pack forming here is now behind Marco Nurmela in 6th position. Had a pretty decent start. Looked punchy for a couple of laps, but the tyre life isn't working for him. He did a 1:31.4 on that last lap by. That is 0.7 of a second slower than all 4 of the cars in front of him.
Yeah, you're exactly right. It's, he's doing a good job at holding up with these guys. But yeah, needs to just be careful not to cause an accident. Just looking at this battle back here, the 18th position, Faber Toffoli, all over the back of Philip Yates here.
And Yates knows that he's in a race right now. In fact, they very nearly came together through turn number 4 as well. It was the case of getting really close for Toffoli, who wants to get through, and it's been not the best start for Kleber. He's down 4 places from where he started. Philip Yates, of course, is up 2 at this moment in this race, but we are here, of course, reaching lap 11 in this one. So drivers now will just be starting to wonder how the tyres are faring for them right now as they go through. A big check-up, actually. They're behind Tamas Jane as they went through the fantastic Vidal chicane into the Hyundai N curve. And, oh, hello.
We're just watching Cedric Beale there nearly clean the back off Väyrynen. coming into turn 1 and had to go quite wide. He hasn't lost much ground, but yeah, certainly was quite close to taking the rear end out of that car.
He was close. Of course, the Frenchman wants to get himself a nice consistent run at the moment here with all that is going on down the hill then through that right, which used to be known as the Ford curve there as they went through, but now look at the run he's trying to get here. Going into the Dunlop hairpin, he's got a nice draft to go through. Wide line taken, of course, by Väyrynen, and he will make sure that he holds it on the outside track. Nose peeking through there from Cedric Beale.
Yeah, fantastic racing for these guys, keeping it nice and clean, which we'd like to see, but yeah, Beale certainly wants to get the job done, doesn't he?
Speaking of getting the job done, Matt Wood has found the back of one Mr. Klaus Siemens. He's now within that 1 second range. He'll be able to close up a little bit more. And I have to say, it has been a really good 11 laps so far from Klaus Siemens. Hasn't fallen a million miles off the back of Diogo Oliveira and has just been working incredibly hard in what has been his best race so far. Big defence, meanwhile, now coming for Cedric Beale because Kent Nielsen all of a sudden goes to attack. Welcome to Schrodinger's overtake. Attack and defence, Cedric Beale at the same time.
Yep, here we go, and the big defence coming down from turn 1. Where's Nielsen going to go? He's going to have to go to the outside of the track. Oh, and he's going to throw it at the inside. Here we go, 3-1. He's going to get the job done too. He'll be able to hang around on the outside here. Then we've got a right-hand corner coming up, which is after this one, and he'll be able to get the job done.
Well, he's got it through turn 3, inside at 4.
He's done
and bingo. That is the move. And
Kent
now
Nielsen
here
in
comes
there as
the
well.
attack coming up. Hilton getting really aggressive here as he goes around the outside into the Mühlenbacher section, and he gets the move wonderfully concocted as he gets things going. One driver has come down into the pits, then Ben Horrell is down there on the lane. He's got it. And he has gone onto the medium tyre because he wants to go from now until the end of this race. So no surprises there with that strategy call from Ben Horrell. He's down at the back. He's got nothing to lose.
Yeah, he actually spun out. We didn't catch it on the cameras, but he lost it all by himself again and dropped right back to last. So came in. He's trying to do a bit of a surprise strategy here and get a fresh set of boots and then push it through and see where he can finish up.
Of course, you've got to cap your losses when you do, so if you spin, that would be a good time then to bite the bullet on a pit stop so you don't have to try and fight to get back up into any pace. There has been a change of position. Nico Väyrynen has lost the place to Darren Parker a couple of laps ago, so Parker making some good progress as well. And in terms of who they were fighting with, well, Renato Augusto has just effectively been morphed here, Fonty, into the next train. Griffey Owen, Buffton and Webb.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Augusto, fantastic driver. We see him week on week, and he is in a battle with 4 other cars, doing a fantastic job at holding them up too.
Yeah, he's fallen way back. Ray Griffey Owen's got to find a way through. The Dutch driver searching for his inner Max Verstappen potentially to try and get through with that very much brawn-looking car behind there of Dan Buffton, hoping to search for any way through that he possibly can and move himself up a position if he possibly can. And this is where you have to be really alert because we are in a pit stop phase. The first person to come down into the pits might just get the biggest advantage of all with the undercut.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Ben Horrell, well, it'll be interesting to see where he can finish up. Hopefully we don't see him lose it and it just keeps going on a clean race here. But yeah, still some great battles going throughout the field. Adam Webb all over the back of Dan Buffton. This battle here for 13th position with 12th position with Ronaldo Augusto is gonna heat up right to the end, I reckon.
It certainly is at this moment in time, and well, they're going to be close up in towards the Vidal chicane. A little think of a look there from Ray Griffey Owen, has to back out of it as he goes on through. Beale's got a really good run here on the run-to-one here. He'll attack Marco Nurmela for position. This is for 6th place. Down the inside, Nurmela gives all the room in the world, and Nurmela effectively just missed the corner entirely. It was almost a case there, Fonty, he was waiting for the bus. The bus came along, and he was too busy looking at his headphones. He was still waiting.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He did. I think he gave plenty of room there, a bit of excessive room. Started to run out towards the track. Oh, there's a big little moment there for Marco Nurmela in the rear end, and this is going to put him all under pressure from Kent Nielsen now, as Nielsen also has a bit of a moment.
Yeah, Kent Nielsen struggling there on the outside of that. He just grabbed grass on entry, did Kent Nielsen. He had to really gather it up. And, of course, they're not the most forgiving of curbs down at that section of track. They're very much Nordschleifer-inspired curbs through turns number 5 and 6. And he's very lucky he's still got a car here, Kent Nielsen.
Yes, you're exactly right. He, yeah, well, we are, 14 laps into it, and we've got another car that's gone around, like I said, and dropping Veyron, and something's happened to him there. He's dropped like flies, so we'll just go back and have a look.
Huge off. That's a huge off. That looks like a massive off down there at the Dunlop Hep, and he's completely gone through the gravel. It's a 285, misses braking zone by, I'd probably guess, 50 meters as he tries to go on through, and he is right out there, and I think he's giving a salute to the fans as he tries to get back out on track.
I think he did. It didn't even look like he attempted to turn the corner, to be honest, so maybe he just thought it was better off that he just went straight on, but yeah, just it looks like a bit of a strange one, maybe a little bit of a hardware failure on that one. First car in the pit though, Matt Wood. We've got Matt Wood in the lane.
Matt Wood, he was struggling, he was dropping back off of Seamus. Look at the battle as it go by. Here goes the chance for Ray Griffione. I have to go to the outside here of Reynaldo Augusto, and look at that, drive off the exit, why not? Ray Griffione picks one off and gets it lovely sorted. Adam Webb's trying to get through on Buffton. Welcome to Piccadilly Circus at rush hour. Ooh. Contact Webb and Augusto there together, and suddenly Buffton trying to go around the outside. They're going to tap tyres as they go through. Shane's got nowhere to go. Webb apologises over the radio, and Alta Foley's trying to pick one up on Yates as well.
Here we go, 7 cars. Oh, and the car's gone off. We've had Matt Wood go down the lane, and something's happened in the lane, or he's had to get a repair, because 9.9 seconds stop for Matt Wood. This is going to be detrimental to his overall finishing position.
I'll have a look as he comes down into the lane, see exactly what the issue is. Yes, it's change of front wing that he has had. That's an extra 5 seconds on the stop. He's clattered it too much over the curves, and that's why he's in trouble pitting on lap 15. And crucially, he's gone onto the medium compound tyre between now and the end of this one. So he's going to be in a real sticky wicket right now in comparison, as all those other 4 drivers are on lap 16, trying to get to probably lap 18 where the soft tyre opens up for a 1-stop.
Yep, this battle continues to go on though. We've got Thomas Shane, Cobert Foley, all going at it. And yeah, these guys are not giving up. Got a slow car there in the background though. Reynaldo Augusto, he's coming into the lane. Don't know what happened there. He just came out the turn very, very slow.
Yeah, I think he's struggling here as he just completely overshot it, went straight across the chicane. Not having the best of runs at the moment here is Reynaldo Augusto. Also in was Marco Nurmela, by the way, to make his stop. So he is looking to get out of the way. It's a slow lane, 60 Ks, as you try and get yourself off of the Jackson away. And he, of course, will also be behind Matt Wood there. So Nurmela making his stop as well. He has also, looking at him, in fact, no, he's gone actually onto the soft compound. So he's trying to get this one going all the way to the end here, the Finnish driver, Marco Nurmela, on the soft compound tyre from lap 16.
Yeah, that's a bit of a hard gamble to make, but yeah, if you can look after those tyres, it certainly is possible, but locking it up into a corner is not going to do that. So we might see a 2-stop strategy for him.
We very much may do, so we'll keep an eye on that. The longer that this race goes on, it would have to be a quote-unquote splash and dash if he is going to make that late stop. So the battling going on up and down the order. Nico Veyron thinking of a move on Darren Parker. He's not going to quite get that one sorted for place here on the end of lap 16, but he doesn't have to, because Darren Parker departs onto the right and dives down into the pit.
Yeah, there we go. So fantastic first stint for Parker, really did well, made some great track position, and yep, come down lap 17, he's going to grab another set of boots. I reckon he'll go on to the medium compound tyre. Seems to be what the majority of the field has done, apart from Marco Nurmela.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting to see whether it is going to be soft or medium here for Darren Parker. It will be the medium that will go on. So he's there, of course, behind that in the lane. We do see Kleber Toffoli, so he is down there in the pits getting his stop nicely sorted out, and he'll be looking to get off and away. Should be coming out ahead of Reynaldo Augusto, and will do will the Brazilian. So a very nice stop for Claver Toffoli there to make sure that he has that all nicely situated. The race leader, of course, has led every lap so far. Matteo Ugolotti, his gap is 4.7 seconds at the moment at the front of this field after 17 laps worth of action. Jorge Martinez in second position overall, and I won't be surprised if Diogo Oliveira decides to come down into the lane pretty soon. I am surprised he's staying out this long. Siemens also stays out.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and Martinez is doing a fantastic job actually. He's slightly closed that gap, so 4.4 seconds between first.
Oh, he's off. He's off. Martinez is off turn one. He's got to try and gather it back up again. This will allow to second place Diogo Oliveira. Just as you're talking him up there, Fonzie. It's the commentator's curse of all things. He outbroke himself into one.
Yeah, we're going to go back and have a look. Thanks to Virtual Racing School for sponsoring the replays. Talking him up, he'd driven a fantastic race all race long up until that point, and I put the curse on him. What's happened here?
Well,
so he's come in there and he's just overrun himself. So hasn't damaged the car, he hasn't clipped anything, he has just lost track position, and I reckon we're going to see him come in pretty soon to grab a new set of tyres.
For now, because that is a lift from Diogo Oliveira, who allows Jorge Martinez back through up into second position, knows he is beat in terms of strategy, but you would have said that Martinez, being 4.5 seconds back from Matteo Ugolotti, would have put him in a position to fight for that race win. Now he's 10 seconds back right now here, Fonzie. It's a lock unless Ugolotti has some major drama in the pit.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. He was really hit the pace and was doing fantastically well. I think he just must have opened up DRS and then just completely overshot himself. Which, yeah, disappointing. We don't often see mistakes like that from Jorge Martinez, but we've seen one tonight.
Matteo Ugolotti dives into the pits. Martinez takes that as his cue to dive in. Oliveira and Siemens will dive in, and Cedric Beal as well. Top 5 all in the pits, and the question will be where Matt Wood will come out in comparison to all of this. He was racing with Klaus Siemens, took an extra 5 seconds in the stop. Ken Nielsen will dive in, Nico Verinen will dive in. Lap 18 is the call for everyone except if your name is Ray Griffioen, who's going to get his name in lights here, apart from Matteo Ugolotti, who now regains the race lead going forward. Now it's a battle of pit crews on the lane as everyone looks to try and work their stop out. There already going away is Martinez.
Yeah, there we go. Great stop for Martinez. And, yeah, 3.9 seconds. Fastest stop so far, apart from Klaus Siemens with a 3.9 second stop. So Matteo Ugolotti 4 seconds. So yeah, definitely the winner out of this one is Jorge Martinez.
I'd say the winner out of this one is Matt Wood, because he has leapfrogged Klaus Siemens in the stops, and look at where his eyes are on right now. Here it's on Diogo Oliveira, and are not pitted yet Steve Ghiori, who will be holding up Oliveira through this one.
Yeah, this will be quite frustrating for these guys. They will get past, and hopefully Steve will just let them go, which looks like is going to happen. Matt Wood, the next one to get by. I'm pretty sure Matt will get this job done pretty easily. No, he won't. Gets the nose chopped, so that's slowed up things and certainly going to open up that gap between himself and Oliveira.
Yeah, couldn't get it done at the Schumacher S. Even at the best of times, that's not a passing corner, that Michael Schumacher S. And now attacking off the exit, he gets DRS here on the run to the Advan Arch. And now as he goes through towards the Vidal chicane, should have the inside at the biggest braking zone on the circuit here. Left, right, gravity helps you to slow the car down at that section, so you've got a later braking zone. In comes Steve Ghiori. Good move, Matt Wood.
Yep, fantastic move, Matt Wood. 1.2 seconds separating himself and Diego Oliveira now. So I'm sure with that change of the front wing, hopefully he didn't damage it when he was going past that 20 car that he just had to pass in the most difficult braking section of the track. But yeah, already started to close that gap up to Diego Oliveira.
Yeah, he certainly is at this stage, and Matt Wood 1:31.1 in terms of his last lap he's gone through. He's really trying to open up as much as he can, of course, because he is on that medium compound tyre as well. Yes, he loses out in terms of his strategy here, Fonzie, in the short term in terms of this, as he tries to work out a way to find that pace, but in the long term, when that soft compound tyre teeters off, so to speak, when it hits the cliff, it won't do so much for the medium compound. He'll be right back in there.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And yeah, this could really work out in his favour, considering all of these cars in front are on soft tyres.
We've just seen another spin for Ben Horrell. He was right behind Reynaldo Augusto, and it's exactly a mirror image of his first spin, just trying to put the power down a bit too much out of turn 4.
We'll go back and have a look at that and see what's happened. I think it's there's 3 spins that have happened throughout this race are all on that same corner. So, yeah, exactly the same again, but this time he does a full 360 and then keeps it going.
Oh, absolutely, and he's trying his best. Adam Webb, lap 20, finally departs then on those set of very, very old soft compound tyres. He'll get a brand new set to go through and make things happen. Ken Nielsen is a surprise here. He's actually dropped in terms of his stop behind Darren Parker here in this race. So Ken Nielsen dropping a place. Parker having a really good pit stop cycle, which now puts him in 9th position here in this race. He was down 7 places earlier in 12th. He's now managed to gather himself back up to P9.
Yeah, my screen showing is P8, so P8 there for Darren Parker, and yeah, fantastic drive. We've seen him have some great pace earlier on, and he's come out and he's on the medium, second car on the medium compound tyre, so I expect to see him certainly make his way up to the car in front, which is Marco Nurmela.
Yep, so Nurmela will be the key. Of course, was the first taker of a soft compound. There are 6 drivers out there on the mediums, and there are then 14 on the softs. No retirements as of yet from this race, which is really, really good to see. Matteo Ugolotti in control, 11.7 seconds plus now the gap over Jorge Martinez. Oliveira a couple of seconds back, and then again it's seconds back. But Klaus Siemens here has got himself a race on his hands, because you can see just behind him a very hard charging Cedric Beale.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and great driving here from Cedric Beale tonight. And normally sort of around the sort of top 10, top 15 mark, so to see him up there fighting for 5th is absolutely fantastic to see, and he's going to chuck it up the inside. He's going to get it done, I reckon, and yep, it's done. Move's done.
He has totally scared Klaus Siemens into turn number 1. There is no other way to describe that. Cedric Beale has decided to be a postman in his past life, because he licked a couple of stamps here today, and he has sent some.
He certainly has sent it, and a fantastic pass. So well done, Cedric Beale.
Yeah, and we've also seen Kent Nielsen as well just get the move done as well, I believe, on Darren Parker. Got that one done around the outside of the Vidal chicane at the end of the lap.
Yeah, we're just going to have a look here and see how it was done. So, replay going into turn 1 here. Going to get it through there, and he's going to make the move. So,
yeah, last chicane.
Go back a bit further. It's going to be 30 seconds before you're going to see the move, but I feel like this is one that we want to go back and watch. And yeah, great driving from Nielsen.
Absolutely, it was a case of around the outside. You're just about going to be able to see it at this moment in time. It's a wonderful overtake, because he had to have the commitment to go around the outside and hold it there. Yeah,
you're exactly right. Very, very difficult corner to do it on, but did a fantastic job, and yeah, really, really well done. To go on the outside and pass there, you've seriously got to be committed, and yeah, couldn't have done it any better myself.
Absolutely, we've seen some wonderful sim racing so far at the moment. They are all in this race, and they are just starting to find their own little gaps at the moment, including these battles a little bit further down right now. You've got a nice bit of gapping here between Webb, Toffoli, Griffio and Augusto and Shane at this moment in time, all fighting it around in the mid-pack here. And in a race like this, when there are no retirements, it's very tough to gain or lose when it comes to iRacing or safety rating.
Yep, you're exactly right. I tell you what, Matt Wood is not gaining on Oliveira. That medium compound tyre not quite working early on in the stint for him, but will certainly come on in those last few laps, which I think he will be able to make up that 2.5 second gap that we are currently seeing.
Well, the difference is he lost 0.3 of a second that last lap by to Diogo Oliveira, whose focus is very firmly in front against Jorge Martinez, who is second in the championship as of this moment. But The key here is that Oliveira is a notorious I use too much of the tyres style driver. Marquez is someone who effectively nurses them and effectively does everything he needs to with his tyres. So Oliveira probably can mark it down about lap 32. You'll see those tyres hit a cliff and he'll probably start struggling.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And yeah, with this track being so aggressive that it is, yeah, the tyres, if you're on a soft compound tyre, you're definitely going to be struggling come the last 10 laps.
Those last 10 laps do become vital in terms of how you construct every little battle, every little overtake that you possibly can at the moment. Darren Parker is now starting to turn the other way in terms of this race, mainly because he's on the medium compounder tyres and he's up against drivers who are on the soft. One of those who is on the softs right now is Nico Veyron, he's thinking about making that move.
Certainly is, and yeah, Parker will come back though. We've seen great pace from him throughout this race. He's just got to try and hold the car and be consistent with it. He's lapping at 1:30.4 that last lap by, and the likes of Kent Nielsen, Marco Nurmela, Klaus Siemens, they're all doing the similar sort of time. So yeah, Darren Parker, he's not too far off the pace, but just got to hang on there.
He certainly does. Someone else is Renato Augusto, because Tamas Shaney is all over him like a rash down in the mid to late parts of this field. So a nice battle going on for 15th place here in this race. Tamas Shaney running a BMW Sauber McLaren at this stage, trying to chase himself down.
Yeah, there we go. He's going old school and yeah, doing a fantastic job. Great race to see. Right up the back as we've got Matteo Ugolotti just cranked through the fastest lap of the race with a 1:29.3.
It's incredible. He's running 8
There we go, side by
seconds
side.
quicker.
Oh, and he's going to get it done. Fantastic move there. Absolutely fantastic move on Ronaldo Augusto, and next car in front of him, Ray Griffithon.
Yeah, that's the key there for Tamas Shaney. He got that on the inside. Room given, of course, by Ronaldo Augusto, and he gets it done before they reach the braking zone. That is a vintage DRS overtake then from Tamas Shaney. The drag reduction system in full force, and now he'll try very, very hard to break away in terms of the context of this race. So, Matteo Ugolotti on course at this stage here, Fonzie, for 6 wins out of 6. And this is the moment where you start asking, is he possibly going to go an entire season undefeated?
Oh, you're exactly right. It would be pretty impressive to see that. I don't think in my time of covering this series we've ever seen that. So, yeah, we hope that somebody can bring the battle to him, but at this stage he's pretty unbeatable.
Well, we even saw back when this iRacing Grand Prix Series was about a Williams FW31 how difficult it was to put 12 in a row. Even Ben Fuller on his legendary tear when he was lapping the entirety of the field, he couldn't get anywhere near front quick wins. Here we go.
A move on Darren Parker under some serious pressure by Nico Veyron, really wanting to get that move done and looking for every gap possible. I think we'll probably see it here coming into turn 1.
Looks like that could be the case, so there's the DRS. He's going to have to be brave if he wants to go for it. Big late move on the brakes, tries to go through, but Parker takes the outside line, and he can cover that off then going through turn 2. These 4 corners, the Mercedes-Benz Arena, always difficult. Maybe an angle to the inside here at 3, not quite enough alongside there from Nico Veyron, and it's another agonising lap of staring at the back of Darren Parker.
Exactly right. Fantastic drive from Parker at this stage. Just taking a look here at Matt Wood, continues to drop pace in comparison to Diego Oliveira. Gap now 3.7 seconds on that medium tyre. So when we start to see that turn, will be the indicator for when that tyre, when that soft compound tyre is gone off. So Matt Wood now 11 laps into these tyres, whereas Diego Oliveira 7 laps into those soft compound tyres.
And the key here is that Diego Oliveira was the fastest man on track that last time they went around with a 29.9. So he is definitely using all of that tyre. He is running very similar lap times to Jorge Martinez just in front, and he'll be getting a very minute bit of help as well in terms of the draft at a second and a half back. Tough to get a little bit of help here on this track in terms of draft. It's a very, very quick corner into corner style circuit here, Fonty, but the two big places you get that help into turn one, up into the Vidal chicane.
Yeah, you're exactly right. It's a real driver's track, isn't it? It's not all about horsepower. It's all about setting the car up and how the driver does his job. And Nico Värinen is certainly doing a good job here all over the back of Parker, who is holding his ground. But they are also losing tyres and losing time to Kent Nielsen.
And the other Väyrynen now has made a move. That's Adam Webb getting it done on Samuli there. So Samuli Väyrynen then struggling a little bit at this stage here in the number 7. And that is a great move by Adam Webb to get up. And now they'll have Kleber Toffoli for company.
Yeah, well, Samuli is on that soft, on the medium compound tyre compared to Adam Webb on the soft. 12 laps into the stint is Väyrynen, and Webb is 7. So Webb was the last one to stop, so he's still got pretty good life left in that tyre. He did stop at the exact halfway point of the race, so he's planning to go all the way home, and I reckon he'll probably have the tyre to go all the way home.
I reckon he will as well, and he'll be very aggressive come the end of the race, and that will be a cause for concern for everybody else. Look at him, he's already broken away from Samuli Väyrynen in a wonderful capacity at this moment in time. That battle, of course, with his brother Nico Väyrynen, who started today in 13th position. He's up 3 places so far. Well, there's your freebie. That's a wiggle on the final corner there, the Hyundai N-Curve. Then for one, Mr. Darren Parker down on the inside goes searching does Nico Väyrynen, and there's not much you can argue about that one there. That is a wonderful overtake then, all concocted by the force of pressure that was applied to Darren Parker.
Yeah, you're exactly right. It'll be interesting to see, can he pull away, or will Parker be able to hang on to the back? We can already see a gap starting to form. So Kent Nielsen just up the road, 4.2 seconds. Separating those two, and they are both on a soft compound tyre, and they've both done 9 laps since the stint. So Nico Väyrynen's going to have some serious pace here to catch up to Kent.
Yeah, that's the key. Of course, 5 seconds is very, very tough to close down, or about 4.2 when they cross the start-finish line. That's going to be a huge amount of work. And, of course, have to note that this race has been flying by, Fonty, in terms of how this has been going forward. We're already now on to lap 29 of 40, so that's 12 laps to go here at the Nurburgring Grand Prix Strecke. And when you consider that this has been a tough race in terms of how close can you get, and you've got to stay with the driver in front of you, it's completely different when it comes to next week, because it's Spa-Francorchamps.
Oh, I love that track. It's an absolutely amazing facility. Probably I haven't been to many race tracks around the world, but for the ones I have been to, that was certainly the highlight for me. What a cool racetrack, amazing facility, so many different types of turns, but a real horsepower track at the same time.
Absolutely, and we'll be seeing that, of course, next week here with SimSpeed TV. If you haven't had the chance, you can like, share, and subscribe for more amazing content brought to you by us here at SimSpeed TV. Worth noting that Ben Horrell now has fallen a lap down here in this race in comparison to Matteo Ugolotti, mainly because he's come in for a 2-stop strategy here today after what was a very early stop struggling on those mediums, and he's had to bite the bullet and find a way forward. I believe he has just switched back onto the softs now for the last 13 or 12 laps of this race to go. So Ben Horrell really having a horrible time of things today.
Yeah, he certainly is. We haven't seen a performance like this. Normally he's right there, kind of in the back end of the field, but they're certainly not spinning it out and doing that what we've seen today. So potentially not as much practice for him today, but good to see he's still turning up and having a crack.
Ben Horrell's normally peppering in and around the top 10 along with the likes of Nico Väyrynen, so to see him a little bit further down the order today is a shame, but hopefully at Spa he finds a little bit more pace and he can run himself up through the order just a little bit quicker in terms of this one. Oliveira's been doing a wonderful job here of keeping Jorge Martinez honest in terms of this strategy. He's got the gap down to 1.2 seconds at this moment in time, and has gapped Matt Wood to the tune of nearly 6, as Wood now is looking behind him at Cedric Beale, 1.4 seconds behind him.
Yep, I've just been watching their lap time comparison between Wood and Beale, and they're pretty much identical. So I think that unless something horribly goes wrong for Wood, he's pretty stable in that position. 4-lap old tyres than what Beale has, but Beale is on the soft tyre and he's 11 laps into his stint, so I reckon the tyres are probably going to perish at an equal rate between each other.
That definitely looks like to be a logical conclusion at this moment in time. Great 3-car scrap as well going on here for 12th, 13th and 14th, because you've got Samuli Väyrynen now holding up Kleber Toffoli and Ray Griffio, and of course we saw Adam Webb depart from this battle with a very nice overtake, but Kleber here wants to try and find a way through in the 10.
Certainly does, and he's putting a lot of pressure on Samuli Väyrynen, both on the medium compound tyre, and Ray Griffione's just sitting back waiting for an opportunity as well.
Yeah, and it's going to be that opportunity that we all have the focus to keep an eye out on, and if you can get that opportunity, we will see whether it will be one which you can capitalise on and work or not. He's close, thinking about it to the inside there, going through the Vidal chicane, but he can't open it up and give himself the chance that he needs. So Samuli Väyrynen, not much he can do there, but defend as much as he can, because he now knows that it's a long race still from now to the end, because they are in that final quarter here, those final 10 laps where overtaking becomes incredibly vital.
Yeah, you're exactly right. It does become very vital, and one race that is still definitely on is that second and third. Diogo Oliveira 1.1 seconds behind Jorge Martinez, and doing a fantastic job.
Yeah, and it's that fantastic job that we are seeing here at this moment in time from Oliveira. He's really working here. He got the gap down to 1.1, and he wants to make sure that gap is around a second here, so he gets the DRS. He's pushing Martinez, to the absolute limit. We've seen one mistake already from Jorge Martinez, but the question will be, will that Spaniard make another one, or is he going to be cleanly walking home between now and the end of this race? And of course, you also have to worry about the fact that those on the medium tyres might be struggling with the fact that they are not able to get those tyres up into an operating temperature, because of the fact the track temp here today is 21 degrees.
Yeah, you're exactly right. We haven't seen the tyre drop off of the soft compound that we normally would, and I think you're exactly right with that statement, Spirit. The track is just too cold and the tyres are not wearing out the same.
Exactly, and of course that will also mean that the medium compound tyres are going to be a little bit of a struggle, because normally a medium tyre is a little bit better in terms of life in comparison to a soft in a hotter compound or a hotter track session. So now you see just how difficult it starts to become here for someone like Matt Wood, and that's why he's hemorrhaged 7 seconds over the course of this stint with Diogo Oliveira. When Oliveira came out of the pit, they were right behind each other.
Yeah, they certainly were, and it's all about learning. Every time you go to the racetrack and drive, you learn something new, and I reckon Matt Wood will be kicking himself for going on to that medium tyre. Potentially he made that call after the front wing was damaged and he was losing time, that he would just run on that medium compound tyre. But yeah, certainly looks like the guys who did choose to go onto that tyre after their pit stop are certainly struggling today.
Ray Griffioen is through on Kleber Toffoli for 13th position. Toffoli made a mistake through turn 3, had to take a bite out of it as he was saving the tank slapper going through the corner, and then all of a sudden Ray Griffioen on the outside of 4 gets it done then on Toffoli. So a nice move there and a change of position.
Yep, certainly is. I'm just going to go back and have a quick look and see if we can catch that on the replay. Ooh. He actually really overshot turn 1 himself, so just continue on and watch and see what's happened. Okay, so we've had a little bit of a tank slap moment there for Toffoli, and then there we go, gets the job done. So a mistake from both of them, but Ray Griffioen capitalised on that one.
He certainly did. He saw the opportunity and he had it with open arms. He took that one. So a very nice little bit of a moment then to pick that one off for Ray Griffioen. Lead gap is up to 12 seconds right now for Matteo Ugolotti, who is walking away here with this one once again in the iRacing Grand Prix Series, and it's just a level of consistency that you really struggle to find anywhere else that Ugolotti has got over the rest of his competitors.
Ronaldo Augusto, he's made a bit of a mistake there, and he's dropped right back, so I'm just going to go back and have a look and see what happened.
Oh, it's on the exit of one. It's on the exit of turn number one. He tries to put the power down. Back says no, and he has actually nosed it into the Armco barrier.
Oh, he certainly has done some damage to the front wing, so yeah, that'll certainly slow his pace down. Will he have to come down into the lane to get a wing change? Potentially.
Potentially is the right word. It depends whether he has the black and orange flag showing, saying that you've got too much damage, colloquially known as the meatball flag. So if he has that, he'll have to come in, 5-second change, get back out and going again. If he doesn't, then he can ride around with a little bit of that damage, go through, and of course he'll have 4 laps to serve that penalty before he gets black flag. That black and orange flag means you must come in. The iRacing system deems you have too much damage. Doesn't look that way though.
No, it doesn't look that way. Just watching the battle back here with the Foley and Ray Griffioen. There we go. So he's in for a stop.
Yep, so that will be chalking off another 37 seconds or so. He was very early on the line as well, so take another 3 seconds off of that as well. So Ronaldo Augusto, it's effectively death by paper cut at this moment for him.
Yeah, you're exactly right. He was driving a good race. We normally see a little bit more speed out of him in previous weeks, but maybe in a similar situation to Horrell, whereby he just hasn't had the time to do the practice.
That definitely seems to be the case then. So maybe it's just another case of struggling for Oliveira. Keep an eye out though on Ray Griffioen in 13th place, because he has been slowly reeling back in one Mr. Samuli Väyrynen in the number 7 machine, who of course is on those medium compound tyres, which are struggling here to find a little bit of temperature right now, going through the right and up the rise of the Advan Arch over towards this Vidal chicane, and all of a sudden DRS is now a firm prospect for the Dutchman.
Yep, certainly right, and doing a fantastic job there. It's been some really cool battles that we've seen throughout this race. Oh, we've got Dan Parker. He's put it off at turn 1. We're going to go have a look at the replay on that. Ended up very, very wide. So just at the finish of the previous lap, happens about 15 seconds from now.
Just looks like he tries to trail brake into the corner, and he just locks up the rear axle as he goes in. So a very easy thing to do in this machine. You try and turn and brake at the same time because you don't scrub as much speed. So for that, Darren Parker, that's a real shame in terms of it, because he's now just allowed Adam Webb on the best tyres of them all to go through.
Yeah, you're exactly right. He has indeed. And yeah, great driving from Adam Webb tonight.
Yep, definitely cannot complain with the way that he's been driving in this race. He's been just very quietly picking up those places. He's gone long on that first stint, and it has really worked out for him right now, as we are now in the final 5 laps of this race, and everyone now just focuses on getting it to the end. Diogo Oliveira has actually now started falling off the back here of Jorge Martinez to a tune of what is now 2.6 seconds. So effectively 1, 2 and 3, unless there's another serious mistake.
I think he's made a mistake, to be honest, because the last lap by he was only 0.2 of a second a lap slower. So I think something's happened in recent time, but he is dropping very, very quickly.
No, the difference is that Jorge Martinez put his fastest lap of the race down, Fonzie, on lap 32, a 1:29.6. It's not a case of Oliveira slow, it's that Martinez is quick.
Yeah, okay, there we go. So, yeah, Jorge, it was disappointing that he made that error early on in the race, because I think he would have been able to challenge Matteo Ugolotti today.
I think he definitely could have done, but that's the key to this sort of race. You need to be in it to win it, and if you put yourself out of it making mistakes, there's not much you can do here in terms of this sort of race going on. We've got great battles going on up and down the order, and including this one for 15th place, because Tamas Shane is under pressure from the TQ Engineering car there of John Pat Kelly.
There we go, John Pat Kelly all over the back of him, and he's looking for a move. He certainly did think about it. Ronaldo Augusto, fastest lap of the race.
Well, he's on fresh tyres, so
There we go.
He's got nothing to lose. Lap down, he's in P21, so with nothing to lose, why not? He's done himself a 29.351. That's the sort of pace he's capable of doing.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and just a bit of a shame that those turn of events happened to him tonight. But yeah, watching this battle here for 15th position, I reckon we're going to see John Pat Kelly try and make a move. Can he do it on the outside? He's going to have a crack at it.
He's not going to get there, though.
No, he's not going to get there. He wasn't far enough up to be able to make it happen, and the battle was going to continue as we come onto the front straight now.
I tell you what, they're bringing along John Pat Kelly's teammate there, Steve Ghiori, into the fight. Could soon be a three-car fight.
Here we go.
Here goes John Pat Kelly into turn number one. He'll dive for the inside. Shane here from Pennsylvania is trying to go around the outside. Nothing you can do there. Good move. John Pat Kelly gains one.
Yep, there we go. He's going to, yeah, as you said, pull his teammate into it, and he will certainly want to get that position done and finish alongside his teammate. 2 laps left in this race, Barry.
Yep, of course, that's when Matteo Ugolotti crosses the line, so we're down to 3 laps to go right now. And Shane with an incredibly aggressive line going through that transfer left and right, leading to the Dunlop hairpin here. Shane having to be really alert to every defence possible here, and Ghiori is just going to get a freebie on the inside. There's no grip left here for Tamas Shane. He's dropping like a stone.
Yeah, he certainly is. 19 laps old tyres is Tamas Shane.
Front wing.
He is struggling. When you look at the front wing, it's got a little bit of damage, so it will not be helping around a track like this, and I think he's even going to get passed here by Philip Yates.
Yeah, definitely looks like it. So Tamas Shane has had a moment here. He's had a huge moment. Lap 35. I'm not sure we're going to be able to see it, but it was lap 35 as he was coming down the right-hand corner there on towards Valvoline. Just caught the curb, and he just nosed it into the wall right before the Dunlop hairpin. So Shane, that's why he's got the damage. Yates has gone through. I think this is the case here for Tamas Shane, walking wounded between now and the end of this one in about a lap and a half, 2 laps from now.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. Just flick to this battle here between Darren Parker and Adam Webb. So under a second now for Parker, and he is on the medium compound tyre. So potentially those tyres of Webb are on the way out. We could see a pass here happen on this last lap.
0.3 of a second gained on that last lap for Darren Parker. The fact that he is trying to fight to be within a second will be good news in terms of this race. So the question will be, can they find those overtakes late? Otherwise, it's going to be a case of staying. It has been staying, though, Greffione versus Väyrynen, and it's also worth noting now that I believe it's those soft compound tyres, which are only just now here, lap 39, are starting to hit their element.
Yeah, but late in the piece, I would have thought they would have come on a bit earlier, because look at the gap between Matt Wood and Oliveira now. It's down to 6 seconds, and it's closing at a rate of knots.
Closing at a rate of knots, but not enough of a rate of knots, you would feel, with the way that Oliveira is out there in front. There's still a lap and a bit to go, so you're going to be hoping for a miracle if you're Matt Wood, thinking that a podium is in the cards. But really, closest battle on track is Ray Greffione versus Samuli Väyrynen.
Yep, you're exactly right. And half a second separating those two guys. Just keep an eye on that. Clayton Foley just behind them in 14th position. White flag. The last lap has just come out for Matteo Ugolotti.
It certainly has, and Matteo Ugolotti, we haven't seen much of him at the front of the field because, well, he hasn't been battling anyone at the front of the field. He broke a second early and then just managed that gap from start to finish, and that is what you do to pick up great results in this series. You manage gaps over and over again, hoping that you can do exactly what you need to get to the checkered flag. Griffey Owen just still not able to get into a range when it comes to Samuli Väyrynen, Kleber Toffoli as well, in exactly the same position. Cannot do enough then in this battle to really close it up and really make anything of the battle that they've got going on. But up the hill then goes Matteo Ugolotti here as he goes to that Michael Schumacher-S, and I wonder if some point in time that'll become the mixed Schumacher-S as well as they go through. Now through the Ravenel corner, 90-degree left, Bill Stein, the next right-hander, which leads onto the DRS zone here, this final run up the Advan Arch. This has been a race where Matteo Ugolotti just needed to say to everyone, I want a calm race, a nice clean race, and one where I am not going to be worried about anything whatsoever. Hyundai N-curve remains for a driver who has been absolutely on it all season long. Put a sensational 6 down because the six-pack challenge part 1 is complete. Ugolotti is waltzing towards a title.
You're exactly right, he is waltzing towards the title, and we see Jorge Martinez just coming onto the front straight now. Great race from him, and only one mistake for him would have potentially been up there to battle for the lead of the race, but overall great drive from him, and then back to Diego Oliveira finishing in 3rd place there. Tell you what, Matt Wood, last lap when we saw him, he was 6 seconds behind. Finished 3.1 seconds behind Diego Oliveira. Give it another 2 laps, he would have been all over the back.
Well, Oliveira did a 1:33 there or thereabouts to finish things off in that race. It was a very tough one to get to the end. Kent Nielsen has actually lost a place here on the final lap of the race, so he has actually dropped down thanks to a mistake. He was side by side actually with Nico Väyrynen into turn 1, and Nico Väyrynen was able to come back and get it done on the last lap on Kent Nielsen, so not much being able to do there. Still on towards the end, Philip Yates is trying to get a move done. He wants to try and go through against Steve Giori, but I think he's out of road to make that a reality. So for Philip Yates, who has a little look at things right now in that mock Jordan, it is not going to be a case where he is going to gain that one. But of course, that is now going to be everybody over the start-finish line, so he... If I decide that my mic wants to be plugged in. So, Fonty?
No, there you go, mate, you're on. We've got...
I am on.
Yeah, you're on, mate. You've got the results up, and we're ready to roll.
Absolutely there. So just had a little issue with my microphone there, ladies and gentlemen. Matteo Ugolotti picks it up then. An hour exact and 41 seconds of spare change. He wins by 12.3 over Jorge Martinez, with Diogo Oliveira finishing it off in 3rd position on dying tyres. Matt Wood finishes it off in 4th position, a gain of 3 places for him. And Cedric Beale, who started today in 8th place, he gets the top 5. That's a really strong result for him. Klaus Siemens, you can't knock it though. Started 4th, finishes 6th. But still a good drive for him today. Marco Nurmela there in the Burst Esports car in 7th, with Nico Väyrynen in 8th position. Kent Nielsen was able to get his move done then, or lose that position, sorry, late on then. He finishes it off in 9th, with Adam Webb up 6 places here today. And in fact, the biggest mover in the field outright, up 6. So he finishes it off there in 10th position. 11th would go to Darren Parker. He completely bogged down off of the start, and that meant more troubles then as he went through. So that would be P11 overall, with Samuli Väyrynen there in 12th place. 13th would go to Ray Griffey-Owen, as he was just behind Samuli Väyrynen, with Kleber Toffoli there in 14th place, exactly where he started. John Pat Kelly up 5 today, P15. Good drive from him, and his teammate there at TQ Engineering, Steve Giori, is P16. Philip Yates there is 17th. And of course, Tamas Shane, walking wounded with the front wing damage, last finisher on the leading lap there in P18. 3 drivers, 1 lap down, but crucially, no retirements here today at the Nurburgring, which is a very big rarity for this series. Ben Horrell, Dan Buffton, and Reynaldo Augusto all able to make it to the checkered flag, albeit 1 lap down from the 40 that were available here today.
Yeah,
of course, next time out here, Fonty, Spa-Francorchamps, what a legendary track.
Yes, you're exactly right. Just saying before, what an awesome track. Can't wait to go there. Love racing around there myself, and I can't wait to see these McLaren MP4-30s go cruising around there. and yeah, certainly join us for some great racing.
The only place you can catch the iRacing Grand Prix Series is here with us at SimSpeed TV. If you have not had the chance already, you can like, share, and subscribe for more amazing content brought to you here by us at SimSpeed TV. We are on the road towards 7,000 subscribers. Please give us a little bit of a hand if you haven't already. There's so much more amazing action that comes along here with SimSpeed TV at all times of the day, almost every day of the week. And of course, a massive thanks has to go to the Virtual Racing School who are sponsoring the replays for us over the course of this year. On top of that, there's been a lot of work that's gone in here in terms of getting this together, from Scott Fountain, who's been pulling double duty today, cameras and commentary, and myself, Jake Sperry. The question remains, Matteo Ugolotti is a cut above the rest. How on earth do you stop someone who is just that good, that consistent, and can put every single strategy on the board where nobody else can really make a dent? He's got 6 in a row, but is it going to be 6 more to bring the season away? Well, round 7 is Spa, and I'm sure that if he can continue in this vein of form, we might be talking about Title Town, only 4 races away from the end of the season. We'll catch you a week from now when it comes to the circuit to Spa-Francorchamps.
This is fantastic. This is GT racing right now.
He's got traction, he's got rid of the outside, both of them! Maloney!
Oh, he's taking Anderson. Anderson's up top.
Oh my God! Oh! Big crash! Oh my goodness, half the field's gonna get rolled!
This is very close. These guys are want to make their way through the field very quickly. Oh, there we go. Oh no! That's massive! This is it! This is over! I can't believe this! Oh my God!
God, what?